Hello and welcome to Fatecasters.
Yes!
Previously, we met our, I don't know if heroes is the right word yet. We'll say protagonists. We met our protagonists, and as they conducted some blood ties in the city of Slavoka, where they are blood cloaks, enforcers of the vampire lord's will. We also saw some flashback encounters that shed a little light on our characters' backstories, and ended the previous session in Tragul Frostbite's flashback at the introduction of that scene. So without further ado, let's jump back into that scene with Tragul Frostbite.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Teeth in.
Again, King Goroth Icebane sits on his throne before you, as you have been called before him for failing to bring back your quarry, Drimok, the outcast frost giant. So, this is what my Iron Howl warriors have become. Two cubs chasing shadows in the snow. You bring me excuses when I demand results. Orlok, to your side, immediately speaks up. It's not my fault this whelp couldn't keep up. He motions towards you, Truggle. I tracked the giant halfway across the tundra, but he botched the ambush, always too slow, too soft, just like we were pups, huh, Tragul? He turns towards King Goroth. Perhaps I should have gone alone, my king. You need warriors, not strays. What do you do?
I bark at him, just hard. Just, if you want to speak ill of me, then put your fists instead of your mouth.
Give me an intimidation check.
That would be a 23.
23. You see Orlok backs down, like immediately. He flinches back, which is big for an ogre. It's a survival of the fittest kind of world you live in, and to show weakness is ill-advised. He quickly recovers, but you know that your history with Orlok, he's always kind of been the lesser of the two of you, and has to kind of maneuver his way through encounters, always kind of kiss-assing up the chain to which is unusual for an ogre, but something must have worked, because King Goroth's ire is not on Orlok as he looks down on the two of you. You see him staring straight at you. Oh, well and good, Tragul. Still, this giant escaped, and that's on you. You think he escaped because he was cunning? No. He escaped because you are weak. Fighting words for an ogre. A hand has been chopped off. An ogre has been slain for far less. But this is your king who renders that judgment onto you. Do you have an immediate reaction to that?
I think it would be along the lines of me wanting to fight him for power. If he has words towards me where he is being rude and looking down upon me, then I think with my will, I would want to fight him.
Do you act on that, or do you just want it?
I believe in this moment, I just want it.
Okay. You sit there, I think defiance in your eyes back at him. You're not looking down at your feet. You're meeting his gaze as you gaze up at him. All the ire that he casts down on you, you return. As you kneel before Goroth Icebane, two figures catch your eye kind of in the background of his icy throne. Orcs. An unusual sight in Ironhowl clan. No orcs have been welcomed here since Goroth's war with the Southern men. Yet, here they are, half shrouded in the darkness behind you. The first figure is hunched, draped in an ice-rimmed cloak. His blackened hands, like a claw, something skeletal about them. They grip a sword hilt at his side. Beneath his hood, darkness, but two green pinpricks of necrotic fire glow where his eyes should be. Frost clings unnaturally to his furs. Cold, ice-covered, yes, but braziers everywhere. All of your ice has melted from when you came outside from the blizzard, but his clings to him. Give me a perception check.
That will be a 25.
25. The air around him feels, even at this distance, it feels colder, wrong. I think like a barbaric creature such as you are relies more on your natural senses than like a man in a city would. You smell something. There's a whiff of decay about this orc that reaches your nostrils before vanishing. He stares down at you, not speaking, just watching with stillness. You do not sense the disdain the Goroth is looking at you with, but there's with what was your roll? It was quite high, like 25, right? 27. With that roll, there's like a presence here that stirs something ancient in your instincts. There's a power about him that should not exist. It is unnatural. Beside him stands a tall orc woman wrapped in smith's leathers lined with wolf fur. She has silver-threaded hair that's tied in braids. No armor, just blackened gauntlets from the forge that are etched with glowing runes. She spins a razor-thin dagger of a pale blue metal between her fingers before setting it back. You don't recognize this metal, but it is like a raw shard. It could be a nice dagger, but you don't recognize the ore that it's made from. But its frosted edge glints faintly as she puts it away. This moment that distracts you, Goroth comes back and says, you meeting his gaze. Give me an insight check.
Ooh, 13.
With a 13, I'm gonna roll in front of the board. He has a -2 to this roll. But makes it with a 16 on the dice. You see something in his eyes before it vanishes. You can't quite catch it. Your failure shames the Ironhowl clan. If you cannot bring me victory, Trogul Frostbite, you will bring me nothing at all. Zarka, mark this one. Let all know that Trogul Frostbite walks in the shadow of disgrace. Zarka, next to Goroth, as his trusted advisor. She pulls the branding iron from the brazier next to the king and steps forward, preparing to grip your shoulder as she marks you with the mark of shame. She walks towards you and is reaching for your arm. How do you react?
I believe as she would go for it, I would go to grab hers to stop her.
Give me contested strength rolls. Or you can do an athletics check. She rolled a 9 on the dice.
11.
Oh.
And she adds 10 to this roll, so 19.
Oh, no.
What's your total athletics check? Is it 11 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need some new dice.
You grab onto her. Not huge for an ogre, but there's a strength of experience here that she bests you, and she forces you down to a knee. She holds the iron. Do you resist the branding further, or do you take it?
I believe at this point I would just lean into it, just to assert just that I don't care anymore.
Okay. So I'll say you bypass Zarka in this moment, and you stare back at Goroth, who looks down at you. This uncaring attitude you direct at him. Because Zarka is his tool, but Goroth is who's doing this to you. You see Orlok next to you, smirks. Guess you'll be needing that mark to remember who's better, huh? Maybe next time leave the hunting to real warriors. I think in this moment, you've resigned yourself to your fate. You know what comes next. You know that the exile awaits an ogre who has been marked with this mark of shame from the Ironhow clan. As Goroth turns and leaves in a huff, Orlok does the same, Zarka. The orc, shrouded with the hood, eyes green, necrotic fire, looks down on you. A sound? No sound. There's a voice inside your mind. So much fire in you, little frostbone. A shame. And he turns, exits into the shadow. The orc smith next to him retreats. This memory vanishes, fading like these orcs as they fade into shadow. What did Troggle Frostbite vow in this moment?
I believe he would say to himself, I vow to take back my clan. I vow to one day return and fight my king, because I am the true heir to the throne.
Yeah. Snow falls, but it's not the blizzard of the Frostbite Peaks. No, this snow is nothing like home. This falls in soft, fleeting flurries, a pale imitation of the storms that shaped you. The streets of Linstead come into focus, the clean cobblestones and proud facade, a far cry from the jagged cliffs of the endless waste. But the fire in your chest burns the same. I think that in a strange place, far from home, doing a job that in many cases I feel like you would think is beneath you, serving strange masters who rule with subterfuge and documents and oaths instead of strength. I think you rekindle that oath that you made yourself in that moment. That you will rise stronger than before and take back your throne. The pair of you travel towards Linstead. You notice that there's a 10-foot wrought iron fence that runs along the edge of the Narusk River, just before the bridge that leads into Linstead proper. That you know that this stands as both a symbol of protection and as a practical barrier for the vampiric nobility, shielding them from like the instinctual wariness that many vampires fear around flowing waters, which is appropriate because they take lots of damage and can die in it. The merchants and nobles who reside here enjoy a life of relative comfort compared to the rest of the city, but beneath the polished surface, it is a thin facade. There's still a subtle tension here in Linstead, an unspoken fear that no matter how great their wealth or influence, they are never more than a step away from losing it all. I will say that Zephyra and Requiem have arrived first in the Linstead Market Square, and as Tragul and Nyx approach, our two groups meet.
What time of day is it?
I was just about to ask that. Thank you.
So it is early morning before the sun rises.
Gotcha. Okay. I would probably be taking my wand and just running it along that fence that's just there, just tink, 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 and faint musical notes, sparks. I'm commenting on how pretty the snow is. Tragul is not giving me a whole lot in response. He seems very lost in his thoughts. My good man, keep up! Good God!
As I reach over and I'm just touching that brand.
Are they like walking towards us? Because I'm assuming
Yeah, the two of you, I think you're
center.
waiting at the well, kind of in the center of Linstead Market Square.
And I keep watching around because I'm watching the sun come
And
up.
you're just kind of waiting for these other two Blood Cloaks and Captain Yusol Thailwyn as you see them approach.
I'm watching the scene go about. Like, wow. Well, hello.
Zephyra, my dear. So good to see you.
You are?
He is aghast that you don't know who he is.
Okay, hold on. Have we met? Or is this the first we're meeting?
I'm not sure if we would have met, but he just feels that everybody should know him, you know?
Yeah, at the very least, you would have seen your fellow Blood Cloaks. I don't know if you've interacted face-to-face or
So
not.
that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd be like, I do apologize. I've seen you about, but I've never met you.
My soul. And he's just going to just step away to the well, and he's just going to look down into the well for a little bit and just kind of space out.
I look over at Rick. And who are you?
Travel.
Your friend seems to have a flair for the dramatic. Is he okay?
Not sure he's right in the head. Quite annoying.
I walk over to him slowly. Say, I like your wand.
Well. As he says down into the well. Thank you. And I believe I do know you. I've seen you around. Ravishing, I must say. This garb, your flow. I enjoy that. Everything, really. You are delightful, my dear.
I appreciate that. I am Requiem.
Requiem. And he gives a gracious bow.
I give you my hand.
He kisses it. Yes, just without hesitation. Yeah, he gives you the same.
Look at
Yes, now even Stephen.
So he gives you his name. Lovely.
Nyx. It is Nyx.
Thank you. I heard.
It is a Nyx.
That's right, Nick's ghost song at your service.
Are you okay? Have you recovered?
Quite well, quite well.
Wonderful.
My pride was shorn, but it has returned, and in full vigor.
Very good.
Indeed. So, what are we doing here?
I believe, well, we are waiting.
Another tithe?
Are we waiting on you?
No, I believe we are waiting on,
Yep.
my uncle. You know,
Your
he
uncle?
told us to meet him here.
Ah, okay.
He sold. Okay.
After a few moments, I'd say, of kind of awkward greeting at this moment,
I would say.
introductions,
I feel
concluded,
uncomfortable.
and then you are kind of standing around, looking around, like, where is this guy? The crowd subtly shifts, parting to make way for a figure whose pristine crimson cloak flows behind him. Well, look at this, my favorite Blood Cloaks. My dream team. I must say, you look the part. Very imposing, especially you. I'm big guy. Now, I know it might clash with your outfits, but I can't help but notice that Dragul's the only one who's wearing the cloak. I know it might clash, but
Yes, it would definitely clash.
you would look like a walking, Winter's Crest kind of thing with the red and green.
Walking Winter's Crest.
But you've got to wear
I'd look like Christmas, is that what you'd say?
Christmas.
I'd look like Winter's jolly fat man, is that what you mean?
I'm not familiar with Christmas.
Ah.
But anyways, you've got to wear, the cloaks. Or at least the color somewhere, anywhere. It's in the name, uniform, and all blood cloaks and all that. Anyways, he gestures to his own cloak. I can make it work. You can too.
Yes, sir.
Does it come in black, Uncle?
No. He reaches in his bag and hands three of you who aren't wearing one a cloak.
I will use minor illusion to make it black on the outside and red on the inside.
All right, that works. Anyways, now listen up. Martin, you're about to meet him. The owner of Martin's Mercantile. He's got a bit of a spine. Talks big, likes to make a show of not bowing too quickly. But his ware's top-notch. You're going to want him on your good side sooner than later. So, be polite, but don't grovel. We're blood cloaks, not beggars. Hold your ground and he'll respect you for it. Or don't. Maybe he needs a lesson in priorities. That's up to you.
This Martin fellow, what is he into? What drives him?
He's a self-made man. Certainly, has a taste of the business, gold, pulled himself up from the bootstraps and all that. Entrepreneurial spirit. But, lately, I dare say, fair warning, he's a bit riled up. Been shouting all day about how he'll die before he pays the tithe. Bold words, but he's not
I
just...
could make that happen.
I'm sure you could. But he's not just talking the issues. People are listening, and we've got eyes on us already. As he says this, he points towards the mercantile across the square, and you notice kind of a shift. There are a few other blood cloaks loitering nearby, near Martin's shop, kind of watching in the distance. And you see civilians lingering around the area. Many, just beyond earshot, some pretending to shop, others clearly waiting. They feel the tension. Something's about to happen. He's been openly declaring rebellion against Slavoka, the government and vampiric rule of Slavoka, all day. Basically. So people want to see how this plays out. Ysold nods towards a nearby tavern across the way. As for me, I'm going to grab a drink. You lot figure it out. I'll meet you back here when I'm done.
That's clearly my move.
Clearly. He flashes a lazy two-finger salute. His cloak swirling dramatically as he turns around and casts over his shoulder. Don't let me down now. And walks across the way. the merchant's shop, as you all glance towards it, it stands out. I'd say even among Linstead's storefronts, it is a prosperous 2-story building with a sturdy wooden door and wide wooden windows displaying an array of fine goods. Above the entrance, a faded placard, also bearing a faint stain of dried blood, almost overlooked among the polished surroundings. Do all of you go towards the shop immediately, or do you do anything first?
How long until I know you said it's early morning. How long until sunup?
You've probably got 2 hours, and you, it's prudent to ask because in the center of Linstead Market Square, you know there will be direct sunlight once the sun rises. Not all. Slavoka has been retrofitted originally, the dwarvish town of Port Karak. But unlike Valola, the sun has not been darkened here. Specifically, Zelfira, at your grandmother, Virelia, has forbidden the sun to be darkened here. Okay. So instead, what you've seen is like a lot of the buildings have been added on to, what was a 2-story building has become like a 4-story building in Bank Butch, and many like black awnings spread across the street. And so most of the city, even in daytime, the streets can still be walked safely. But there is a physical path in areas of the city. Specifically, there's a path through the city that will always have direct sunlight during the day, and it is colloquially known as the Sunlit Path. Maybe there's a relation there to the name of the rebellion. Do you guys do anything? Do you guys do anything in that moment?
Do we know the exact amount that we need to get from this guy for the tithe? I feel like
I think so.
3% of his something or other.
It's 30%, I think, of whatever the business income.
Yeah,
is,
you'd have Ysold would have handed that to you.
Okay.
Actual.
So Martin's monthly income is reasonably estimated at around 200 to 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
You are instructed to collect 75 gold pieces and his pint of blood.
Okay.
Is this like rebelliousness from him more recent, did your soul say?
From what you would gather from what Ysold said is that Martin likes to talk big, but this is certainly the most escalated he's ever been. And I think he's never crossed the line into declaring open rebellion, which is what he seems to have been doing today. So, Fyra, give me a history check.
And he said we're wanting to stay in good graces with him, right? With Martin.
He did advise you that he has stuff that you'll probably want.
Okay.
He has a shop above board. This guy sells magic items and potions.
Oh, okay.
If you do not stay in his good graces, you might not be able to buy them. But he also said it's up to you. Maybe this guy needs a lesson. And what was your
14.
14. This is the only suitable punishment for this is either the death penalty, which would be the kind of accepted outcome, is that you execute this man.
If he resists further?
No.
Or just in
just
general?
from what has already happened.
Okay.
If he's openly declared rebellion, he needs to die.
Okay.
Or you can brand him.
Teeth.
You can volunteer. You can brand him as a slave. There's essentially you could call for a branding that would be like House Stravos's raven crest on his forehead, and it would mark him as a slave, and that would essentially ruin his life, take his livelihood and his shop. That's like an acceptable outcome, but you
So it's blood or slavery?
Yeah, but you
Basically.
think that says something.
Yeah.
In this scenario, that's like showing weakness, right?
What? Putting him as a slave?
Yeah.
Instead of killing him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, gosh. So on one side, if I'm getting this right, we are supposed to build good relationships with this guy, but the typical stuff is to either kill him or brand him a slave.
Yeah, you have you have what you told you, but I think
Yeah.
that's what Zelfira knows as like
Oh, okay.
and I don't know if like you guys have a sense of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that as explicitly that like, and Zafira can communicate that if she decides to. But there's like a societal expectation, and that's the societal expectation is that's why everyone's gathering around. That's why like other blood cloaks are here, just like waiting for something to happen because this is like a powder keg, right, ready to be set off. Because this guy's openly defying the vampire lords.
So, how far away is his shop? Is it pretty much
Just across the
near
square.
Center? Yeah. I'm gonna like slowly walk towards it because I know I can see from far the symbol above. Based off it being old blood, is that acceptable or no?
You would know that businesses cannot have forbiddance.
Okay.
It has to be a mortal's residence.
Okay.
So and there's like, I guess go ahead and give me an Arcana check. I'm going to say the DC is 20. This is outside of what I expect you to know.
Okay. It's 11.
Yeah. So you know that there's weird magic stuff that you know is involved with this and like ancient, curses and things like that. You don't know the like magical reasons because it's a business and they're like basically open to anyone coming in and they don't live there. They've given up their ability to have forbiddance.
Okay.
So for businesses, it's more of like, it's only the indication that they are up on their tithe. And so it's also like kind of an ease of life thing, right? Like you imagine that as this works bureaucratically, that there's like either a blood cloak who draws the short straw or like an aide or something who goes around, walks all the streets and marks who's up to date or not. So that's kind of an ease of life thing. They don't have to like check their books. They can just walk around the city and see if the magical entry placard is glowing or not, right? But yeah, that's prudent to ask. But yeah, you can enter any business without forbiddance.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk towards, well, I guess before, unless everybody else was walking at the same time, I'm going to say, well, I mean, the only punishment, unfortunately, here is death. So, but before that, good old Nixie over here, I see you're quite charismatic. Maybe get some information to see as to what maybe led to this before the inevitable.
He'll nod. He is definitely like. I can't make you roll insight checks or anything like that.
You can. Do you want to roll an insight?
Roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ari. Go ahead and roll a persuasion or deception, your choice.
Okay.
Just tell us the number. Total number.
Okay.
16?
You said what were the two options?
It's persuasion or deception based on whether you are lying or telling the truth.
Gotcha.
I was doing insight though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 16.
You matched. So beat it.
16
So
too? Oh.
yeah. So you she beats whatever your roll is. So
Yeah.
I
so
just kinda do a little
you
like-
catch that I'm a bit intimidated by you.
I just look them up and down real quick. Okay, very well. Shall we?
As you all approach Martin's Mercantile, you
cloak
clock
up.
out just outside the entrance. A fellow Blood Cloak. I think that you would all at least have a passing relationship with. You recognize as just a Blood Cloak, rank and file like yourselves. Ronan Vale leans casually against the post near the entrance. He has like a trademark red sash. His cloak is loosely wrapped around his wrist. He kind of smirks at you all as you approach, his arms crossed. About time you lot showed up. Figured you need someone to make sure you don't end up bleeding out in the ditch, or worse, pissing off the wrong noble.
Oh, Ronan, you shall be the one pissing off this noble today. And I'm going to doff my hat and put it in my bag. I'm going to take my cloak off and wrap it around my thing. And then I'm going to minor illusion the sash that he has, and I'm going to turn into him.
Oh. I don't want to be not in there.
You're out here. I'm in there, but I'll make sure he gets a good word from you.
I don't know about that. Come on, Nixie.
I just grin.
Anyways, you see he, adjusts the longsword at his side. Mm-hmm. I think with all of your passive insight, he's not trying to hide this from you.
Yeah.
He better get to it. Martin's on one today. Try not to make me work too hard, huh? He leans back, body language casual, fellow soldiers in the trenches.
Yeah.
And he's not really trying to hide it from you. You know that he's staying casual more for the onlookers.
Right.
But he's tense.
Yeah.
He's ready for action. He's ready for this thing to pop off, and he is he is a hair trigger away from knowing he's going to have to slice someone's head off in a few moments. So that's kind of just the body energy you get from him.
Okay.
No, he is about to. Just kidding.
So the four of you, are you entering the shop?
Yeah, I'm going to drop it because I'm just messing with Ronan. He's a fellow soldier.
Thank you.
You owe me a beer for not fucking you over, friend.
Gentleman and a scholar.
All right.
I'd like to walk in last.
You'd like to walk in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll walk in first, and I'll just be fabulous.
I'll be behind next.
I guess I'll be third.
Ducking and turning as you enter, Dragul.
And I'm actually going to go into... Well, it depends, I guess, on how the shop is and how he sees us. 'Cause
Yeah.
I will try and stealth, kind of, or be more of a hidden character.
Kind of hidden behind Dragul would be easy.
Yeah.
Inside,
You actually walk in second.
Inside,
Come back by
the
me,
scent
'cause we're
of exotic
stealthing.
spices and aged parchment fills the air. There's shelves neatly arranged with silks, rare herbs, various expensive-looking potions, and gleaming trinkets from across the realm, some armor, magic items. Behind the immaculate counter, Martin stands tall, dressed in fine tailored clothes, his dark beard trimmed to perfection. His expression is far from welcoming. He glances at all of you, lips curling in unconcealed contempt. You can tell that he's expected, right? I know why you're here, but enough is enough. Every month, I bleed this business dry for your vampire lords while they sit on their thrones, feasting on our sweat and blood.
Yes, they feast on our blood. Agreed, my man. And I'm going to start sidling, more on his side, facing everybody else.
He's
Tell him.
kind of confused, a little off-put.
Have I, met with this guy before? Have I bought stuff from his store?
How well off are you?
I spend a lot of money, and so I'm always poor.
Yeah. I say you spend a lot of money. You've bought stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You are dressed, you're dressed in finery.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd say you've certainly purchased things from this man. If nothing else than, fine silks and garments. Yeah, we'll take that into account. Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Now, I will set the expectations out front here that this man is openly hostile with you all. Yeah. So the DC for any charisma-based check is extremely high, and one success is not going to do it, right? He knows what he's doing, and he's not. So I'll put that out front.
Okay.
So I will say the DC for persuasion in this initial encounter is 25.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Jeez.
Right away.
I'll ask for the veil to guide me in this moment too.
Okay.
Guidance. I do have guidance, but I don't know if you...
That's really good, guys. Persuasion, that is a 26, sir. 17 on the dice, 3 on guidance.
My goodness.
He looks at
Wow.
you, off-put.
Martin, we know you. Well, I personally know you. Where will I get my silks if not here? They're bleeding us dry, my man. There's something that must be done.
What I will give you with that initial success is that he's on his back foot.
Okay.
This did not go initially like he expected.
Yeah.
But you have not won the day.
Okay.
He kind of looks over. Oh, that's true, Nix, but still, tell your masters they'll take in all that they'll get from me. At least until they show me better fairness. Huh? I'm done paying without question. And you see his smirk has faded. He's a little bit unsure. Yeah. But you see kind of fresh fire in his gaze, particularly, I think, as he clocks Zelfira.
He clocked me?
Sorry, you were hiding, right? You're
I'm
hiding behind Trundle? Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Because you said you were hiding.
17.
He adds 3. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Okay. He does not clock you. Tell me, Nix, are you here to take more than just tithe this time?
Honestly, my good man, I'm not quite sure. I wanted to get your side of the story first. Of course, there are men telling me that I need to go do these things, but I know you, Martin. You ask of what fairness looks like, that you need more. What does that mean? What exactly are you looking for that's more than what they're able to do now? And how can I help you, my man?
Nix. He's gonna roll an insight check against you.
Okay.
That's 19 total. Go ahead and give me another persuasion or deception, depending on how you're going about this.
10.
I think you get the sense a skilled wordsmith that he's like kind of glances at you and is like seeing a little bit past your bravado. Okay. He begins to pace slightly. He turns from you, walks to like an edge of his counter, comes back. Someone give me a perception check.
I was going to say, I want to know how close he is to this distance. Could also perception.
Yeah. I'm just going to lean against the bar as he kind of paces away from me and
9.
just kind
Mine's not
of.
very high. 19. That's not very
Yeah.
What was the total? The highest?
I got 13.
Yeah,
13?
she's got a higher one.
You see a few curious onlookers have like gotten bold enough to be hovering outside the shop windows. And you see Ronan outside is like glances inside uneasily. He makes eye contact with you, and he like shifts warily and goes back for his sword. And you see him glance down the street towards something you can't see. Martin pacing back and forth. What if I struck a nerve? Maybe you don't look so certain anymore? Maybe you agree with me, huh? His gaze glances over all of you, searching for doubt. Look around you. These people, your people, they see what you do. What, you're going to beat me, take my blood, cut me down in front of my customers? He gestures towards the doorway. The gathered onlookers like stiffen. Again, this is almost unprecedented.
Yeah.
People know what's at stake. I'll put it that way. One figure in the back quickly turns and hurries away down the street. Okay. This you all feel this is on a knife's edge.
How big are the windows?
They're large.
How big is he?
Larger.
Okay. So, a couple things here. And you can tell me how it can happen in one. I want to, on one hand, tell him to go cover a window. And on the other hand, start an attack with sneak attack, but with my short bow first.
You're attacking Martin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it okay if I was also going to do something?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how he wants to roll it out, so.
I was just going to use my message cantrip and send something quick to Ronan outside and just say, movement outside, watch the building. This is going down.
You get the response, we should wrap this up quickly.
Okay. And quickly, as soon as it says that in my head.
It's basically,
I guess I take
I
a
tell
seat
him, say,
in
cover
front
the
of
windows.
the window, and then my warhammer just sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
So let's make
on the
this
head.
fast.
Before we do this, is there anything that I can, like, having been observing where he's at, do I know if he has a family? Is there anything that I can see immediately that I could direct him more towards? Because I know he's antsy, that would possibly de-escalate him. I know he's, like, so on the edge, there's probably not a lot that would.
I need the two of you to roll initiative against each other because you both told me you're doing two things, and I need to see who goes first.
Us two?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine's 8. You got a good roll.
21.
Okay. So I'll let you act before, I'll let this resolve before Zelphira strikes.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me a history check. The DC is 12.
3.
3 total?
Yes.
You are not aware if this man has a family or not.
Okay.
But, so that's your history check. Do you act immediately right now? What do you do to try to de-escalate? Because this is happening bang, bang.
No, I just would have been wanting to observe and see if there's anything. Because I'm getting the sense that if we do act, like, that's almost what he's wanting to, like, get an uprise, and I'm worried that that's going to escalate into something bigger. So.
It's very astute. With your advantage in initiative, I will say you clock Zelphira going for her bow.
Okay.
Do you try to stop her? Like, do you reach out a hand?
I don't reach out a hand, but I'll ask her, do we know if he wants this to happen?
This might happen. Wait, how is this happening in the middle? Because I'm stealthed and coming out of
Well, I was
stealth
next to
in
you.
an attack. I know.
We walk between, like,
You're like stealth, right? But you're not like
Okay, no.
Skyrim crouching invisible. Like you're
making sure I can
like,
still do my
you're
sneak
in the
attack
shop. I'd say you're
as this plays out. Okay,
yeah, you
okay.
were
I mean,
like
it's escalating so fast. So I
You
guess I
walked
can just
in
say,
behind Tragul, so you're having this conversation kind of in behind some shelves. We'll say.
concerned that the forces would grow beyond what he is giving us here in the shop. If
If
they
they're
do
going
this,
to go, they're going to
he
go.
might want this at this time.
If we show weakness, then that speaks for itself.
But we don't know what they've been doing, what they've been saying. We don't know he's alone in this.
Oh, it's probably not. We find the others and we kill them too. It's lawful.
I'll say, while the two of your guys are having that conversation, the two of you see Martin spreads his arms wide. He's like raising his voice to be heard by the onlookers outside. You lot aren't so different, are you? Maybe you hate the leash as much as I do. Maybe you remember what it's like to stand tall before they put you in these cloaks and called it power. He leans on the counter, he's shaking his head. I expected more. I thought maybe there's a shred of a person underneath all that red, but look at you. Collectors, errand boys for the dead. They snap their fingers and you come crawling, hands outstretched begging for scraps. You, Nyx and Tragul, give me an insight check.
All right.
11.
That'd be a 19.
19. Nyx, with 19, you see his dark eyes are burning, not with anger, but perhaps in Slavoka with something far more dangerous, belief. You understand, or you know that he understands what he's doing, and that he knows that this is his martyr speech.
Yeah.
That's
right?
Yeah.
You think you have power? You have chains, and I'd rather die than live like you. His hands curls into fist at a side, slams the counter. The shop's silent now, the gathered crowd outside hanging on every word. So go ahead. Take what's mine. Take my blood. Take my life. Take my shop. But know this. When the sun rises on a free Slavoka, it won't be your names they'd remember. There's distant boots that are echoing down the cobblestones, slow and deliberate. Go ahead.
Minor illusion, sound. I'm able to mimic somebody's voice. I make an addition as he continues to end there, and it starts saying, "But perhaps I can be persuaded, for I love the faceless god, and I'm not quite sure if I'm doing the right thing. I've been pressured by outside forces."
Give me a performance check with advantage.
Fun. Natural 20.
Okay, flawlessly executed.
Didn't even need the
I
red
didn't need
roll.
the second, yeah.
The murmuring crowd, you see at the sound of the approaching footsteps, falls silent. Onlookers shrink back. You see instinctively moving away from the door. Tragul, I think you're the one who clocks that Ronan stiffens at the door side and then steps aside, making way for someone to enter. With that natural 20 that we will certainly honor, Nyx, I will give you one last opportunity to make a persuasion check for Martin that I would not have otherwise allowed you. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Straight roll.
Okay.
The DC is once again 25, and this will be a Raven ring.
I will tell Martin, who has just heard me kind of, mess with his voice, his martyr moment, his powder keg speech, and say, "My darling man, I know you. I'm trying to save your life. For God's sakes, let me help you. Don't throw your life away. There's always a way out." And I'll make my straight roll.
Yeah, we'll do the straight roll DC 25.
Persuasion check. Persuasion. All right. So, guys, I got a +6 to persuasion. So, I mean, I got to roll a 19 or 20.
You gotta roll a 19 or 20.
There we go. I can't see. What is it? That's a natural 1.
Oh no! So our first Raven roll is a nat 20, and the second is a nat 1.
Hey.
Lovely.
Yeah. It was 1 or 7.
know?
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm not quite sure. I'm glad we got the camera. It was one of the two. But.
Yeah.
The die speaks. That was a difficult, like I said, a difficult social encounter.
I'm going to have to find a new silk guy.
The air turns heavy as I think even behind you, you sense an imposing figure pushing his way through the gathered crowd. A figure comes inside, dark weathered armor that bears the blood cloak of your order, but unlike yours, his is stained and ragged. His eyes are sunken from exhaustion, stubble several weeks untouched. His slicked black hair clings damply to his forehead, reins tracing lines down a face marked by old scars. His dried blood marks his right gauntlet. His eyes, cold, sharp, cut through the shop. You recognize him as Captain Saren Red Hand Myrrh. He pauses in the doorway, scanning the scene with a slow, deliberate gaze. Martin, causing trouble again. The temperature in the room plummets, and you see that Saren locks eyes with Martin, unblinking. Martin, uncowed by the imposing figures of you all, you see, stumbles back a step, his defiance crumbling. His voice is faltering. Wait, no, not this time, Saren responds. He lifts a hand, barely a gesture, and Blood Cloaks outside shove a bound figure into the shop. A collective gasp rises from the onlookers, and you see that maybe a couple of you recognize as Martin's wife falls to her knees, trembling inside. Saren steps closer to Martin. He doesn't want to pay. Fine. Let him see the cost of conviction. You're outside Martin's shop. The sky opens with a crack of thunder, rain pouring down. The onlookers hold their breath, eyes wide. Knowing that this is more than punishment, this is a statement, a warning, that dares anyone to defy the blood-stained order that holds Slavoka in this iron grip. Saren folds his arms. His expression is unreadable. But there's something simmering, I think, beneath his cold exterior. Justice is simple. One way or another, Martin loses something tonight. You lot decide what it is. You let it come to this. He tilts his head slightly. You can brand him. Let the Iron speak for his sins. Let all of Linstead see his ruin. Do this and no merchant will deal with him here. His business ends here, but he keeps his life. His gaze flicks to the bound woman. Or, take her. Leave him his shop, his name, but let him carry that hole for the rest of his days. A brand or a body. That's the price of defiance. Either way, someone pays. So Fire, give me a history check.
Seven?
There's some information here that you will know. I won't give you everything with a 7. Saren Myrrh is the Damphir son of the Myrrh, House Myrrh, which is a minor house, but is closely affiliated with House Blackheart, and is rising in the ranks. They have an advisor, Vicar Ansel Myrrh, that is on the Crimson Court, and you know that Saren is technically your guys' direct superior. Although he has been gone the entire time that you have been enlisted in the Blood Cloaks, so you really know him by reputation alone. And that Ysold is also a captain, and for many of you, you've been he's the one who inducted you into the Blood Cloaks, but he's kind of more on the administrative side of things. And Saren is kind of the field officer. So you know that, again, this man is your direct superior. Although many of you, again, know him by reputation alone. You know that he has a reputation for being staunchly loyal to the vampire lords. And ruthless, entirely ruthless. He has a reputation for many scenarios that he gets into will devolve into bloodshed, perhaps bloodier than initially intended. What do you guys immediately do in that scenario?
So Martin is not with us.
He is with you. So to paint the picture again, you are. This has been moved to the center of the square.
Okay.
And you are, I'd say, near Martin. Martin is in front of you. Saren is with you, and in front of him and 2 Blood Cloaks beside her is Martin's wife, that is bound and on her knees in the market square.
Okay.
And he only gave us the option to kill the wife or mark Martin, not kill Martin.
I mean, you could probably persuade to kill Martin.
Yeah. But anything that we say together as we're discussing this, Mark will hear. Is that accurate?
I mean, I'll give a little leeway for player discussion that's different than character discussion.
Okay.
I would say player discussion. Keeping Martin alive means he gets more time to talk in the shadows, whether he's a slave or not a slave.
Yeah. Either we break him or we bring more people to his cause if we leave him alive. Right?
I say we just...
I think either way, you bring more people to his cause.
If we have to break the cause, we have to show a sign of strength.
I say
I
we
agree.
just kill him here.
Yep.
We also kill the wife then.
Because she might become a martyr too, after she sees us kill her husband. She
Kill
might
her
then
or brand
rise up.
her, or kill them both.
The greatest sign of strength.
But she doesn't like this.
Oh, gosh.
I will say, I will take this as you guys, like, looking at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while you're
Because he
doing
can
that,
message well.
Saren kind of shifts. Do it. Make your choice or I will.
We know your
I
choice
kinda wanna
would have the
grab
both
it.
of them. Would have bloodshed either way.
I just want to crack his neck.
Yes.
So just make the decision then.
You want me to make the decision. You won't do it.
I'll make the decision.
I will message you, and I'll say, kill the wife, make Martin watch, then I'll kill Martin after.
Okay. While she's having that conversation, he's doubting us. I'll nod at Nyx, and I'm going to walk over to the wife, grab her, pull her over, crack her neck, and then drop her body in front of him and stare at Martin.
I will go behind him, and I will just place what could be perceived as a comforting gaze and say, my good man, I did say that I tried to help you, yes? This is the price you pay.
He looks down at his wife, and you see his eyes have become hollow.
Tell me, was it worth it? Was the cause worth it?
Do what you must.
I'm going to kneel down in front of him as you're behind him talking and just stare him in the eyes. Say, you did this to her.
I will let his eyes linger on it, and then I'll pull out my rapier, and as he's looking down, I will just put it right behind his neck, into his spinal cord, and do that kill shot.
A wet thud. Sound of a body hitting the ground is followed by complete silence by the crowd. Good. Saren responds. This is what defiance costs. Come on, more work to do. He turns and strides down the street. A pair of blood cloaks follow him.
I would like to take his blood and dip my hand in it and then go smear it all over his shop where it's supposed to be.
Gosh, everybody already saw this, right?
You street dogs.
Stray dog.
I'd like to roll him over and look deeply into his eyes. And I'd like to pull on his spirit from within and pull it out of his body. So it's just this shimmering thing above him. And say, do you have unfinished business, my friend?
Let me ask, are you doing this? Are you trying to disguise what you're doing?
I'm not.
You, in this moment of ghost song.
Well, actually, I might try to disguise it as necromancy of some kind.
Okay.
Is that...
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. Or sleight of hand.
Okay.
Would I be able to recognize the spirit when he pulls it out?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Man, it's awful. It's like 7.
13.
I think, Requiem, you clock something unusual. about what Nyx is doing. In this moment of ghost song, Nyx, you get the response. Yes. Free Slavoka. Enhance, empower. Let the sunlit path have a chance. A chance is all I ask. Fades.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
In this aftermath, you see Ysolde approach, and you see his demeanor darkens as he kind of quickly clocks what's happened. No time to clean up here. He nods toward the street. Back to the barracks. Now, Storehouse 9's been hit. Someone's made off with the Shattered Sun Disk. Your skills might actually get us ahead of this mess. And if the sunlit path is behind this, well, let's just say the city's about to get a whole lot messier. That night passes. Say, in downtime, from the time between you all traveling to the Blood Cloak barracks and the coming day, you will be given a chance to rest, to sleep for the night. You see, Ysolde will bring you back to the barracks and kind of instruct you all to rest, and that you'll have a briefing in the morning. Do you guys, does anybody do anything that evening?
I think a heavy one on Nyx. I think he'd probably go back to his quarters. Yeah. And by his quarters, I mean he'll change faces into Cecilia, and he will go back to the academy to sleep in the barracks there.
Okay. Anybody else?
Shrag will... Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to be in my quarters. Go ahead.
Shrag will go out on his own endeavors.
Okay. Just going around the town doing anything specific?
Yes. Nothing anyone else knows about except for Nyx.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Oh, how far is the cemetery?
The cemetery is not far. I mean, it's right next to the Linstead Market Square. So if you wanted to stop there on your way back to the barracks, you could. I say you will. Yeah, you feel like you would have time to do that if you wanted to, or you could do that. It's not. It's also the Blood Cloak barracks is also in Linstead, so it's not very far. Either way.
Okay. Go to the cemetery.
Do you go to the cemetery?
Yeah, for a little bit, for an unknown reason.
For an unknown reason?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there to see anyone?
Perhaps. I go to a specific gravesite, and then I go back to the barracks.
Okay.
And try to have nobody notice me.
Do you want to play that scene out?
Sure.
Okay. You visit the graveyard in Linstead, and you visit a mausoleum that is familiar to you. The placard out front of it displays just the family name Gray. And it is like a mausoleum where there will be a door that you enter below ground, where like individual bodies will be laid inside the underground mausoleum. Mm-hmm. So in this space, you hear the faint sound of music as Gilbert is playing his fiddle.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you do as you enter?
I take out my... Is it lyre or lyre?
Lyre.
My lyre. I take out my lyre. And I go sit cross-legged from where I hear the music coming from. And I don't say anything. I just start playing along with him.
A few moments of beautiful music and a shared space passes between you. Go ahead and give me a performance check with your lyre.
13.
13. A few moments pass, and Gilbert puts down his ghostly figure, kind of sits next to you. I know that look, darling. It's the people are awful, I should just burn the world and be done with it face. Don't you do it. I'll miss the wine, and I'll miss our duets. Have you brought me anything?
No, just my lyre tonight. Sad song.
Yes. Yours was sad, too.
Yes. It is a sad day. Unfortunately, my voice is too small for big world problems. But I have you, and I play.
And I have you. Oh, Requiem. Anything particularly bad about today you want to share?
Things don't change, and I don't seem to be making a difference. And it's hard to know right from wrong. These days, the company is appreciated. I feel like it is hard to find company that understands my presence, that understands me. And I am a part of a company that has a good cause, and I'm learning how to be part of people again. And it is a weight, and it is heavy, and it feels wrong a lot of the time. So I think I just need to play.
Well, Requiem, if you will take advice from an old, long-dead ghost, let it be that no one goes through life or death alone. You think I wanted to die forgotten and bitter? No, but I've learned that connection, no matter how fleeting, makes it all worth it. Even if it's just us playing. And I do value our visits, dear. You spend however much time you'd like playing, visiting with Gilbert.
Say till like the middle of the night, and then I stroll back.
You stroll down the quiet streets of Linstead. Now, although approaching the sun is probably risen at this point, several hours in. Anybody else?
I'm brooding outside my room, watching the streets. Do we have windows, I imagine, in our rooms?
You live currently in the
Lion.
Blood Cloak barracks, which are like shared living quarters. You imagine like a long warehousey kind of building with like 3-tier bunk beds that stretch all the way down, like super far down. You get like foot lockers and things, and you do have a desk like next to your bed on one side. But all like 3 of you on that bunk have to share it. But usually works out because you're on different shifts. If you are like sensitive to sunlight as you are, you know that you would normally be given like the night shift. And so you sleep during the day. So it's not like super comfortable living quarters. Probably especially for you. But maybe there's a part of you that appreciates that. It is starkly different from your upbringing, if nothing else.
Where the hell do I sleep?
That's an excellent question. Yeah.
Because I am not sitting on one of those bunks.
No.
I'm going to have to break all 3 tiers and it still won't be big enough.
I will say for you, they've made special allowances, so you have the entire end of the warehouse to yourself, and they've put 4 beds next to each other, and that's where you kind of sleep. Yeah, so you've kind of been given a little bit of deferential treatment just purely to your size.
Yeah. I noticed you said you 3 share a bunk, and I was
Like.
No, actually, no. That's what I want to say. Do I see her coming in?
Are you trying to be stealthy as you enter?
Oh, yeah. So back to where we were. It depends on... It's nighttime, yeah?
It's morning now.
Oh, I thought it was middle of the day.
Okay, so that
by the
means
time that you
I'd like to be
enter,
off
and that
shift.
time where she's spent with Gilbert.
Okay.
So you are off shift, and this would be your designated resting time.
Could I see her, what do you think I would see her in passing, in the hallway?
It's just that, are you trying to be stealthy for any reason, or are you just entering?
Not necessarily. I'm probably just minding my own business. Like I said, during my off time, I'd be brooding. I was probably still brooding even during my shift.
Okay. So
Whatever I was doing.
I'll walk by her and still fire.
Oh, hello.
Hi. I wanted to say what good leadership you are displaying, and I apologize for the music. For
So silent.
I tend to lead with not strong leadership, but I wanted to commend you on your actions and taking the necessary steps today. And I start to slowly walk off to leave her.
Thank you.
Good night.
I just look really confused. And walk really fast the other direction.
I think that Nyx just wants to feel different. He makes himself dead inside for the work that he has to do. But he knows someone would be very disappointed in him and his actions today. And so he becomes Cecilia, and he returns to that to escape. And I think he would invest himself to be more of her in this moment, and is also a bit of an escapism. So being able to be her, it would just be an opportunity finally to weep and eventually just cry to sleep. And that's how she'd end her night. What does the academy kind of look like from a sleeping perspective? Is it like with the Blood Cloaks, many bunks, or are there private rooms here? Or what
private rooms, dorm rooms.
Okay.
You would have a roommate. I'd say a single roommate.
Okay.
We will shift in this moment. You all get your night's sleep, your day's sleep. And I will, Nyx, in your
I don't sleep.
night's sleep as Cecilia in the Academy Arcane, your sleep is restless. In the quiet of your dorm room, the unusual, you're having to catch a few hours sleep here that is sometimes hard to manage these different lives, right? Like you're working night shifts as a Blood Cloak, and then you're expected to attend classes in the morning. And you have a super important briefing to attend to in 2 hours. So you're sleeping for an hour that you have tonight. But in the quiet of your room, you dream. You hear a whisper, a soft melodic voice singing you into a haunting lullaby. The melody is both familiar and alien. But there is a stirring somewhere deep within your soul beyond remembrance, beyond recollection. You open your eyes to find yourself standing in a shadowy glade. The air is heavy with an eerie stillness. The trees around you are twisted and blackened, their gnarled branches crawling towards the sky like skeletal hands. It looks like this is a grove that has just suffered wildfire. Like everything is blackened and dark. ash everywhere on the ground. A faint silvery mist drifts across the forest floor that you think at first is ash, but then you see that it curls around your legs and it obscures the ground beneath you. It behaves like a mist or low-lying fog. In the distance, faint figures move between the trees, ghostly shapes that seem to flicker and fade, their forms barely holding together. Their faces are blurred, their hands outstretched towards you as if pleading for something. This voice singing a lullaby seems to come from everywhere and nowhere, sourceless in this grove, but it grows louder with each step you take deeper into the grove. What is your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction is to look down and see what form am I in.
You look down and you see a form alien. Your skin is like perfectly smooth and gray. You have no memory of seeing hands or arms like this. You look down and you are naked, wearing no clothes. But there's like no discernible features on your body at all, like a Ken doll, essentially. Give me an insight check.
Oh, that's good. That's 18.
You find yourself drawn forward, and as you are, these ghostly figures become clearer, though still ethereal, ghostly. Each one like has their mouth wide open, like in a silent scream. Yeah. Their mouths, but producing no sound.
Yeah.
But their hollow eyes are tracking you. They're like maintaining a respectable distance, but like approaching you. And as some fall behind you, like following you as you enter this grove. Mm-hmm. With an 18, you sense a jarring connection to these spirits. Yeah. They are not strangers. Mm-hmm. Each one represents, and I think like flashing across some faces, what was like formless and ethereal. You see like the face of Nyx, and you see the face of Cece, and newly coming into space, you see the face of Martin. Yeah. These are all connections that you have made. Yeah. With an 18, I think you sense that their longing is not even for the task that they have left to do. It's for release. There is something holding them back. Yeah. There is some place that they're supposed to be, and they are trapped here. Yep. The singing grows louder, and it pulls you towards a clearing in the grove, and in the center of the clearing stands a massive tree. Its bark cracked and oozing, like half of it, it's hundreds of feet high. Mm-hmm. And you see like the first 50 feet is blackened, and there's this sap that's oozing, this dark pools around the roots like blood. And the voice is seeming to emanate now from the tree itself. And on the base of the tree, there's a faint glow. Something is buried in the roots.
As there was the singing happening, and we were seeing the ghosts, and they had their mouths open, would I connect that with how in my waking forms I am performing the ghost song? Is there a similarity there, or did it feel different to me with that insight check?
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
Right, like I think that you feel like maybe for the first time you're seeing the ghost song.
Okay. If that's the case, then with the tree, I would approach it really reverently. I'd place my hand on heart, and I would kneel before it, and to these roots and something that is there, I would simply just reach for it and await a sign for kind of guidance to see if I can, come further? Some sort of, acceptance.
I think because you, because you said it, there is a connection here. Again, you're seeing the ghost song, but it's more than that. This is not just a representation. In dream logic, you know that you've been here before.
Okay.
And that this is a moment from your past. And there is an extremely strong connection between this place and the ghost song.
Got it.
You feel as you hold your hand out towards the roots, you're reaching towards this glowing object.
Yeah.
The tree resists. Like there's something, the tree is holding on to this thing that you are compelled to reach for. The singing is tinged with urgency now. The ghastly figures surround you. They're like watching silently, an audience, waiting and like rooting for you, cheering you on.
I would like to make an insight check to see if I'm hurting the tree with the resistance that it's making.
Give me an insight check.
10.
10. I think with a 10, you're not sure.
Then I would continue forward. Yeah.
You reach down into the roots. Give me an athletics check.
Oof. Okay. This hurts. All right.
DC 14.
That's a 11.
Okay. You're reaching for these roots, your hands growing raw from the effort, and you're like pulling them, and you feel tension. It's like you're fishing and there's something big on the other end of the line. Yeah. This is not like solid roots. This is like a tug of war with something. You take first damage.
All right.
2 points of slashing damage as these roots lash out to you, cutting into your hands. The ghostly figures step closer.
Okay.
Their presence unsettling yet familiar. And you sense that their silent focus will let you try again. This time at advantage. The DC is once again 14.
What does the damage look like for me? Did it hurt my hands as I was reaching in? What?
Yeah, it hurt. It like the roots slashed out, razor sharp, like brambles on the edges of these roots. Your hands are bleeding like this dark blood, almost black on your white hands and arms.
Okay.
White gray hands and arms.
I will, reach out to the spirits to have them place their hands with mine as I go in again.
Give me another check with advantage.
All right, here we go. The first one was 18 minus 1, so 17.
17. That's a success. You sense right behind you, these spirits are on like their knees, some of them sinking into the ground. They're all reaching in with you, and they help you. The tether of the ropes of the roots break free, and you hold in your hands a locket.
Okay.
Glowing gently. The singing stops abruptly, leaving the grove in complete silence. As you hold the locket, you sense warmth radiating from it, a stark contrast to like the cold atmosphere of the grove. The ghostly figures next to you pause, and their outstretched hands drop to their sides as they stare at you with like a bittersweet hope.
Okay.
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Okay. 18.
18. This locket is a real object from your past.
Okay.
You see the grove as it once was, vibrant and full of life, with a younger version of yourself sitting maybe beneath this very tree, holding the locket while a woman, tall, ethereal, beautiful, with long, like radiant golden hair. You see flashes like of this woman. You know that she was very dear to you, very close.
Okay.
And she holds this locket and out to you, and you see it around her neck.
If I see myself in this moment, what do I look like? Is it still this kind of gray alien kind of a body as I look at my younger self?
It is.
Okay.
And I say you don't see your face.
Okay.
In kind of dream logic, but you sense that you are this shape as you are, but younger than. This moment, the grove twists violently. There's a shadowed figure tearing through the grove. You see the tree burning and a woman screaming, this woman, before vanishing into shadow. You know that this locket was hers, and the dream crescendos as the ghosts around you disappear. The tree splits, its bark opening as this dark sap blood pours out. The locket grows unbearably hot in your hand. Do you drop it?
No, I'm going to lather it in that black ichor blood that was there before, and I will hold it closer.
Drop it in this dark sap, blood-like, at the base of the tree. You feel the heat become so hot, still threatening you to drop it, but a single word is whispered, and you recognize it coming from this woman. Soft. Remember. The grove collapses around you. The mist surges forward, consuming everything in a rush of cold and shadow. You wake with a start, your hands clutching your chest where the locket should be, but is gone.
True. Does the damage persist?
It does.
So I'm still bleeding as Cecilia in the bed. Correct.
You look at your hands and Cecilia in the bed, and yes, you retain your cuts.
Okay.
And the blood, though bright red.
I will. I'm going to call Plop to me. Plop. And I'm not sure what just happened, but Plop, I'm scared. And I show him my hands.
Plop appears next to you, and like this very introspective moment you've just had kind of pops up. Oi, Nix! And walks over to you. And I think like at your desk, maybe before you went to bed, you have like your journal out or some papers ready. And you see like his footprints like carelessly leave oil prints on the pages in front of you.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I show him my hands again. And it's just that I'm scared.
Holy hell! What'd you do that for?
She can't help but smile. Nick, where have you been?
Oh, Nix, look what I found, eh? He holds out, like a rudimentary steel button. A button! Fancy, eh? It's good luck.
I'm sure it is. I'm very sure that it is. And have you named it yet?
He scatters across the desk, like almost obscuring a piece of the journal that is very precious to you.
Prestidigitation. It's just like... Yeah.
Oh, I have not named it yet.
Well, if you're not going to name it, is it really even yours?
You know, that's a good point. What do you think I should name it?
Probably Butt.
But I like it. It's good.
It fits you. With the others, then, or somewhere else?
Just out and about, looking for shinies, looking for good things to steal. Little mischief, never hurt nobody.
Did you happen to find any shiny stones for old Cece?
No stones this time.
Next time. Go together?
Go together. Are you worried about the cuts?
Suddenly I'm a little less worried about it. She bandages her hands. I always seem to get better.
You know, Nick's been thinking I have.
I'm Cece right now.
Well,
do you need me to be Nyx?
Just between us chaps. Been thinking about things. About I once knew, I think. The Echo? Does that mean anything?
The Echo. I believe that was some shiny candelabra that you had stolen and named the Echo.
Give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. 10.
The Echo pings something. I think like something you should remember, but you don't.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. He hops down, kind of paces in small, like uneven circles on the floor. The Echo, place with all the shiny lights and the singing. I don't think you remember it proper, but not like a real memory, but it's there. Like a tune in your head you can't get out.
I always have a tune in my head. What's the tune sound like?
It's real haunting-like. Hard to pin down a woman singing.
A woman singing? I heard my mum, in my memory earlier, she was humming a tune. Something like that? Old Dwarvish?
No, not Dwarvish. It's like From Home, the Feywild.
How much of the dream does Cece just remember that she literally just had?
You remember all of it.
I remember all of it. Would I have thought that the tree and the forest resembles the Feywild?
Yes.
Perhaps I might know a little something about a tune. These were connected to that in a bit of a way. Shiny locket, you'd have liked that locket I saw in my dream. It was quite that, but the singing was something else, too.
Did you see her?
Long blonde hair. Yeah. Beautiful.
I don't think I know her, not proper, but I heard her.
You dreaming, too?
No, I think I remember it. Like in the in-between space?
Where I snapped you in and out of?
Kinda, but before Cece.
In the Feywild?
Yeah. Well, between.
Between?
I just remember her singing, maybe not even, like, from me, but I remember her voice all soft-like. She said something about, I'd be your guardian.
Guardian? Well,
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. What I need is a good friend.
Yeah.
Somebody keep my mind off of things. You're good at that.
I've been watching you, Nix.
Like when I'm sleeping?
Yeah, well, of course.
You didn't fix this?
No.
You just watched me bleed?
It was weird.
Okay.
But, yeah, I am here for you. As much as a little boggle can do, I'm here for you. But, I'm worried. This faceless god, he's got his claws in you. Deeper than I think but... Anyways, I'm here to fight him if I have to. I will.
Well, if we're going to fight him, I suppose we should fight him together, but at the same time, I rather like the bloke. I'd never lie to you. The things he says, they make me feel like I'm someone. Make me feel like I belong. Make me feel not so alone. Do you know what I mean? Does he whisper to you too?
No. But I know about the alone thing. Like when I'm with you, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So maybe you got me thinking, yeah. And we don't have to do this alone, Nix. Go figure this out. He plops down, the table. You see something in his eyes, I think, like if a boggle could tear up, I think he is, but it's oily. He like shamelessly starts rummaging through your pack to look for anything that he might want to take.
Anything good in there? Anything worthy? Ah, here's something. I reach past him into the pack and I bring out a healing potion. And say, if you're going to be my guardian, how do I feel about being Dr. Plop?
Dr. Plop.
Dr. Plop.
I
we
like
may need
it.
a bit of a medic out there when we're journeying. I'm a bit weak from the health perspective and might need somebody to bring me back.
Well, I like it, Nix. And I'll do it. I'll keep nicking your things, too, if it keeps you sharp.
Yeah. What am I going to do with them?
Absolutely nothing.
I'll keep buying. You keep taking from me. Problem solved.
He keeps rummaging through your pouch. And I think you, with the lighthearted moment with Plop, like taking you from this kind of dark, strange memory that you've had. But there is something there, I think, for Nix that is not something you felt in a long time, maybe ever, that you remember.
Yeah.
But still, Plop is rummaging through your stuff. And you see him, like, produces, like... Oh, he pulls out Rumble from his pouch. And he holds it up and... This is the luckiest rock in the whole damn world. Puts it back. Nix, tell me a story of the mountain. And that's a CC thing.
Yeah. Story of the mountain. Well, they say... Boy, I'm going to come up with a story of the mountain on the spot, huh?
You don't have to. We can fade out.
I got it.
Anyone could.
Yeah. Man. That English major is totally going to pay off right now, guys.
Awaking, knowing just a couple moments before you have to attend classes, you begin to recite one of your family's stories of Molteral to Plop, and we from that moment.
Beautiful. Yeah. I would also just say in that moment, too, that, you know, what Nick/CC is kind of feeling is she almost doesn't want to remember. Nick says almost doesn't want to remember. Almost. The avoidance, the running from things, it's what keeps him alive. And him almost Plop asking him to do stuff and remember in that way, and that woman in the dream also tell him to remember. It's almost like, I don't know, he's conflicted, I suppose. And so while it might seem lighthearted, it's almost like a mechanism of just trying to survive, I suppose. So she's not leavened. It is all mask in the way that the Faceless One would probably appreciate.
I think, you sense that, and you like see, you just sense the Faceless God watching you as you awake.
Yeah.
And like paying particular attention to how you react afterwards. But you do sense approval.
Okay.
After that moment, I say when you all attend the briefing in the Blood Cloak barracks, just a few hours later, this early morning, the smell of brine and leather as you all stand to attention in the guard's office. The familiar scent of salt from the nearby bay mixes with the earthy tang of wet stone. The walls in this room are rough-hewn rock, cold to the touch, remnants of dwarven craftsmanship that have stood for centuries, now worn down by the years of Stravia's grim regime. There's ghostly lanterns flickering in this room, casting pale, ethereal light across the space. You see that many other Blood Cloaks sit in this room, the low murmur of their voices discussing whatever they were doing. There is heavy discussion of Martin and what transpired there. But many otherwise just talking about their long nights of patrol. Some are sharpening their weapons, others just adjusting their armor. There's a sense of preparation going about in this room. Ysolde sits in front of you as you all stand to attention. What are you waiting for? Huh? An invitation. Go on, sit down. All right, listen up, my fine friends. Tonight, or today, I should say, Little Mystery takes us to the heart of things, to Storehouse 9. Seems like there's been a break-in, and someone with sticky fingers made off with more than supplies, something a bit more important. He glances around. Now, these orders have been passed down by the one and only Blood Warden Hadric Ironbrow, which you know is the warden of the Blood Cloaks in Slavoka, like the de facto leader of the Blood Cloaks in Slavoka.
The name once more?
Blood Warden Hadric Ironbrow. Now, he gave us the instructions to investigate Storehouse 9. Something's gone. Now, who the hell knows why it was there, but a shattered sun disk, which is an ancient dwarven artifact of some kind, was there, and we know that it has been taken. So, he's assigned it to me, and I'm assigning it to you lot to go there, investigate, find out exactly what was taken, and if you spot anyone skulking about, bring them in, alive if possible, or not, if necessary. We can get them to talk regardless. Hadric's a stickler for precision, so keep your wits about you. I'll remind you that he expects nothing less than efficiency, even if this seems like a simple smash and grab. And who knows, we have gotten that talk that this could be Sunlit Path related, which is not what we need right now, public relations wise. So, could be something much more interesting hiding in the shadows today. Well, any questions? Great. I like it. Straight to the point, huh? I know you're all itching to get to it, but I am recommending a good dose of discretion on this one. The storehouses have a way of collecting secrets along with their supplies, and tonight we're not looking to make any more noise than necessary, especially after, what happened with Martin. So just because we can do things the hard way doesn't mean we should, huh? Anyways, these orders may have come straight from Hadric, and he's seen centuries of ghostly nights in Slavoka. But if he thought it was worth calling you lot in, then there's likely more at stake here than a few missing crates. So eyes sharp, ears open, and mouths, well, let's keep them a little quieter than usual, huh?
No promises, my good man. No promises at all.
Remember, Nix, the less feathers we ruffle in Lenstead, the smoother the night.
I'll play it the old Cassian special then, my good man. Shall be proud of me.
The doors bang open, and Saren enters the room. Ysolde, Zafira, give me an insight check.
20? 30, 20.
You see Ysolde, his hackles go up. And I think you know that they don't get along. There's history between your family and the Murs that I won't divulge entirely here, but with a 20, I think Saren's sister, Merida Mur, was found dead the day of her unveiling ball. And you know that Saren, that's like the main reason Saren entered the Blood Cloaks, is because the investigation that transpired after that, he found and complained loudly that was like extremely lacking. And he has publicly accused your mother of murdering his sister. So there's obvious animosity there in their history. Ysolde leans back as he enters. Saren, still basking in last night's work, huh? I do hope you left Linstead standing. Saren grunts as he enters, not even responding in that moment. As he continues to walk past, Ysolde cuts in again. Glad to have you back from your little collection trip, are we? Another village emptied to fuel the machine, I assume. Hope you didn't leave a mess this time. You know how it is. Cleanliness next to godliness and all that. Saren grunts, this time looking to him as he passes. Your mouth ever stop running, Captain? Without waiting for an answer, he pushes past you all, continues down the hallway. Some of us has real work to do. Ysolde, well, don't let me stop you. It must be exhausting, all that real work. He leans back and looks at all of you. Right. Better get to it, huh? And at that moment, as you all head towards Storehouse 9 in Bankbutch to uncover the mystery behind the stolen sunlit disc with ties to the sunlit path, we will end the session.
Oh, man.
Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay, we're heading to the storehouse.
Storehouse 9.
Oh, everyone else has it written. Okay. I got mission
9.
leaving off on.
It's on the map.